Like, I mean, like, technically it was sexual assault. I'm glad he apologized. Like, when he
Oh
saw it,
yeah,
like,
100%.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure
She
like,
was
when he
going,
saw
please
his back,
stop, please somebody help me. Like it was like almost cartoonishly like non-consensual. Well, that's maybe, but it was almost cartoonishly non-consensual.
I'm doing the shit you said in the song.
Also, simple battery in some states, Georgia being one.
There are 100% people who were arguing that what he did was like somehow an acceptable joke because Duval was sitting there just like a lot, like just not doing nothing about it.
But like, if you got a woman who's a pussy rapper and like every goddamn song about how good my box is, and like niggas will just take that shit like, oh yeah, man, this bitch a real freak right here. Yeah, she won't want it from anybody. It's like, but they don't know if you're actually one of those people that's really like with the shits. Like, say for instance, like a Tiana Trump. Not even saying that Tiana Trump is somebody that you should just feel free to try out. Like,
thank you for giving that caveat because
of course.
The whole conversation of like, oh, is it somebody that's with the shits? Like, I can be with the shits all day. That don't mean that you fucking like come up to me and fucking like
do whatever,
like grab me and kiss me. You know what I'm saying? It's like
just gonna start fist fighting Mike Tyson. Like,
exactly. Like Mike Tyson has like beat motherfuckers to pulps in like a ring. Are you gonna come up to him and just like start sparring?
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Gucci Mane has killed people. You gonna come up to him and like just start like some pistol play off jump? You know what I mean? Like
it's a red flag.
When you meet women, they put you on to new shit. Tell me if this sounds wild, but it's to me it seems like the woman putting a dude onto new shit is actually more common than the reverse. I think.
I would say that in my experience, that usually when it's women putting men on to new shit, it's stuff like, I showed him that he probably shouldn't wash his face and his ass with the same washcloth.
Yes.
He probably should use sunscreen. It's simple, like I'm an adult type shit. And I think me and the men in my group are typically at my age, a little bit past that. I think that's more of like some shit that happened when like we were
that's teens, 20s,
like 19. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was more of a common thing. In my current age, I've never, because I also have like
I've never learned anything from a bitch.
I would say that again in my old age, I would say I haven't, but I would say just amongst my friend group that they definitely have learned a lot from their partners, but it's also like their partners are also at like an elevated status. Like I'm also now like
just so it's genuine. He said, "I've never met a woman that I've dated who knew something that I didn't already know." It's never happened.
That's those are two different things though. So for example, as I've stated before, like I've dated women who are now doctors. I've dated lawyers. Like I don't know.
But you weren't trying to hear none of that shit. Okay.
No, they just why would I need to learn what your law, like I'm not a lawyer.
Ask out of curiosity what your partner's like things that your partner has expert knowledge in. You never go, oh, what is that thing about case law? What is that thing about biology? Just because you're curious about what they know and what they're passionate about, and end up accidentally learning some shit.
Well, so we don't talk about work, and also like you're like, so what you also know is like, so one, I say this all the time, like I'm an epidemiologist, like I worked in the hospital. Like I'm not asking you about your day to day. I know what your day to day looks like. I'm not asking you about biology concepts and all that kind of shit because I know about it. If I ask you about something as like a medical professional, like I'm probably going to go to my doctor. I'm not asking you about how to file a brief because I don't give a shit. Like, okay, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about me. They don't ask me about how to do fucking Tableau and SQL and Python queries. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's common. But anyway, that's beside the point. What I'm saying is that in general, what women typically say in this space about what they teach men is typically like stuff that like happened when they were like younger. And I would say in my friend group, that doesn't happen as much. And the friend groups that does happen, it's typically because the women are like, I do have a cadre of women in my circle that are vastly above the men. Like I have women who are, in my circle who are plastic surgeons. You know what I mean? And I have niggas, in my circle who are forklift drivers. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, so yeah, like it happens, but I think it happens at a different scale and with a vastly different like set of things than it does if you would listen strictly to the zeitgeist. Okay, so I just wanted to say that was, my general thing.
That's a fair distinction. If we're saying like, once you get past that stage where women are teaching you like kind of, to drink water and take vitamins and that you need to change your sheets occasionally. Like once they get past that stage,
you should wash your sheets more than every 3 months, John, like that kind of shit is what was very common that I would hear
multiple
women say.
Times yearly. So,
Yeah.
but what's the direction? Like once you're past that stage, I still think women are in a place where they're. I mean, my guess. I still think that women are in a place where they're doing a lot of the like, hey, like we should travel to this country, or hey, have you been to this museum, or hey, have you read this book, or hey, have you heard about this bit of vocabulary about emotional well-being, etc. Or are we saying it's the other way? Or are we saying it's just lockstep, even, men and women are exchanging different bits of experience at about equal rate?
I would love to ask a woman, because I also have to. So at this point, when I'm talking of things of that nature, it's within my circle. So like within my circle, again, like, I have two black like male surgeons that I talk to like daily, you know what I mean, and a Latino surgeon, you know what I mean, like so I have college professors, you know what I'm saying, like, so in our circle, like the men are also like, okay, cool, let's go to a museum, so that's a little bit different, especially
and they're all
again,
dating
at our
women
age.
that are at that like same level.
Like very much so.
Okay.
But I would
these
love
are all
I would love to know.
mostly black.
Black or
Okay.
Hispanic.
I
Latino.
wonder if that because like we said about the parody thing. But anyway, let's get into the pot real quick, and then we'll see what Josh thinks. But welcome everybody to Waving the Red Flag, the number one dating and cultural parody podcast in the universe. It's your boy Eddie. It's Josh. It's Alvin. You dating up, down? When like what are you seeing, Josh, when it comes to these cultural exchanges of gender?
Oh, that's not even fair. That's not even what we was talking about a minute
What
ago.
you mean?
A moment ago. Like as far as like exposing people to like do things like men versus women, exposing them. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, but am I dating now? No.
Oh, sorry.
I'm dating-
I didn't mean to say specifically you. I was just like, what do you think? Like, you don't got to tell like what you think you do. I mean, but you can.
What we talking about? Dating up, dating down, or like the
I would like to hear
your.
to hear your thoughts on the initial question that we were talking
Just
about.
like what we were
before
talking
the
about.
intro.
There's like, what do you think?
Cool. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. You fucked me up with the whole going.
My
back
fault.
to
Just ignore my
pre-show
question
shit.
and just pretend like, okay, just ignore my question and pretend like whatever we were just saying, if you had a thought about it, that was just me inviting you to share
Oh
it.
goddamn!
My
nigga
bad.
just fumbling. Oh god.
I be verbose. I'm sorry.
That's a tough one because I'm kind of with AB. Like I would really like to hear what women would think on that one, but I would say it's a bit. I would have to say like it's a bit lock and step, or it should be like a bit lock and step. Maybe the guy might put her on to more shit, but okay. So like for one, women be going out to eat. Like women be eating, nigga. Like they know all the restaurants,
Yes.
all of them. Oh, I've been there. So they put me on.
Oh my God! Have you tried the charcuterie? 100%.
Right.
Way
Nigga.
more than niggas.
When it come to food and shit, like I got my specialty spots, but like women just be going to places as like it's a fucking event.
The food influencer market is like primarily women being created by women for women largely. That is a good ass point. I hadn't thought about that, but now that you say it, 100%.
If you're dating somebody, like there's always going to be an opportunity from y'all to learn from the other person because y'all don't know everything the other person knows. So I think there's also like an aspect of communication, your ability to communicate, and then like get to like those golden nuggets apart from those things that you immediately present when you're dating or courting somebody. I've had women put me on the shit. Like I've had women, one homegirl in particular, help me get over the hump in terms of like my communication, like in an area that I was struggling in. Just by that, like it cascaded down into like other avenues of communication. So
now and low key, like just removing all the gender, like what do women shit of the question. Like I feel like that's just actually such a wonderful part of partnerships, of just like romantic relationships, but I mean friendships too, but specifically relationships is just like getting to have access to a human being with like a whole lifetime of different experiences and different hobbies and being able to just like share in things that they're passionate about, like even if you don't necessarily have direct interest in it, or just being like, damn, so you really like parasail, or you really like or whatever the fuck she's into. And it's like that, I find that like a wonderful aspect of just being in relationships and being able to like walk away from the relationship when it inevitably crumbles with a new skill or a new interest or a new experience in the world. Like that shit is wonderful to me. I love that shit.
Totally agree. It's funny when you said when it inevitably crumbles.
Well, yeah, I mean, shit. That's what it is.
That's how most of them end through inevitable crumbling. But
yeah, either that or y'all die together. Those are really the only two options. So,
or you could die in a throuple. want a communion. I don't know. Commune? That's the word.
A polycule, I think they call it. Okay. Yeah. AI girlfriend can't do that for you. She can't give you them new experiences. Nope. But she also can't leave you. So that's a big benefit. I don't know.
Ooh. What you think about this AI? Damn, this AI girlfriend stuff. I got a mean case of the hiccups, man.
Having hiccups as a grown man is so fucking embarrassing. Like that's it's not an adult disorder to have.
I mean, you can have the hiccups. I mean, goddamn, niggas can't have the hiccups. It's just annoying.
I'm sorry, that should go on that list of men.
What shit that men can't do.
Why you as a man hiccuping, bro? Like, no, what you got to do is drink a glass of water upside down. That's probably the number one like cure that worked for me. Because one time I had like chronic hiccups for for days. I think it was like a side effect of the antibiotics I was on at the time. I felt like a little ass kid. Just excuse me, mister. Can you help me find my mom?
This shit hurts.
So what you should really do is, as a grown ass man, you should look in the mirror hard at yourself and just stop doing that. Because like you as a man should be able to control all that stuff that's going on with your body. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Stop being a bitch.
You know what I'm saying? You really just need to
mind body control.
Man up. You know what I'm saying?
And,
for real.
Get me 5 minutes. I'll be back. I gotta go to the bathroom and stop telling myself to being such a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey man, you embarrassing us right now, nigga.
What's funny? Submitting to you. How's a woman going to? Come on, man.
What's funny is that when you started doing that shit, I took a swig of the drink, and like wanted to hiccup and had to like,
oh no,
like swallow that shit. Because I knew I was finna go. I knew I was finna have this conversation, and I knew I was finna say this. And I was like, man, I can't fucking hiccup on camera. I'm just gonna go through this bit.
Never finna catch me doing that shit. Oh, if it's contagious, damn. Beta male waves proliferating through the whole podcast. But yeah, no, for real, like drinking water upside down is like the number one, like helps me shit if you want to take a second. I mean, if you're good, no stress, but like that was a genuine recommendation.
Like I have to like actually stand upside down.
No. Like, well, not literally. Like I could. So
you could like lean over the corner of a bed or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, pause. But no, it's kind of like you take the water like this. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, let me see if you can see it. And you drink like this.
What?
Did you see what I did?
Sucking your own dick?
Yep.
All right.
But for real, you saw what I did?
Yeah. How? God damn it.
See? You in pain.
This nigga Josh said he'd rather have hiccups.
He said, I'm not doing that shit.
I'd rather have hiccups than simulate sucking my own dick.
Look at this nigga Eddie wiping his lips and shit.
All right, okay, I can try it. Y'all can.
Yeah, no, good man. We pray for your well being, man. It's all there's no shame in that. You know what I'm saying? You're good. It takes all kinds. I will say for the AI girlfriend shit, I think that.
What are you up to today?
Hey there. Yeah, I've just been working all day, but trying to get some relaxation in this evening.
That sounds really nice. Have you tried doing some yoga or meditation for relaxation? It's a great way to unwind and clear your mind. For this evening, maybe we can plan a virtual dinner date or watch a movie together. What do you think? This chatbot allows Karen to converse with an unlimited number of people at one time. Whether the consumer wants to do so for a few minutes or all day doesn't matter as long as they pay $1 per minute.
Like something about that is super fascinating to me to go like, you like the way that I look, you like talking to me, you like what my voice is like. And so I can replicate that at a level that usually was like kind of saved for like film and movie. But now I can synthesize it on some like Kryptonian, like, life model decoy. Like this AI has all of my feelings and thoughts. And obviously we're not all the way there yet, but like we're not too far off from that kind of experience to go, my likeness is copyrighted. And that doesn't include just the way that I look. It's like all of the ways that I think. And then I can scale that and make money off of it by interacting with tons of people as myself without having to actually do that direct labor. And so now you have a situation where like a woman could give the girlfriend experience to like thousands and thousands of men and make money off that. That's fascinating to me.
I think that from a business perspective, I think there's something there but just because it's one of those things where it's like I don't think it's scalable.
Really? Okay. That's why we have you on the pod, because you really know about this shit. You know what I'm saying? We got the real life Lex Luthor trying to figure out how to.
I don't think enough people want like something that they're fully aware is a facsimile of what they're doing to the point where they want to pay for it. So I think that you could get a very loyal, dedicated cadre of people that do. Like I think you can get thousands.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think you can get hundreds of thousands. You know, you may even get tens of thousands. So from a business perspective, I'm just thinking about like what, you know, like our price point has to be right. Because I do think the people that get it will be dedicated, and I think that the subscription model of it will pay dividends. But I don't think hundreds of thousands of people want that. I think that most people look at it as like what's the point? Yeah.
I think that maybe I think that there's a cultural blockage that in the short term you're right. Like people will look at that and go, oh, that's not real. What am I even paying for? But I think that on the other side of this, people will go, I pay for porn. I'm not having sex. They're not saying my name, but I'm paying for clips and porn, or I'm paying for custom porn, and this person doesn't know me. They're not interested in me. What difference is that for me to
I think it's a
interact with their
huge
voice?
difference. I think it's a huge difference.
Okay. Go on.
So again, like you're paying for the girlfriend experience, right? So at least when you're paying for a custom porn clip, you're getting the physical stuff. Like we're hardwired over.
But sometimes they're not paying for custom. Because I think the custom maybe makes it or
non-custom. You're looking for free porn where you don't know the actors and actresses.
Okay,
you like whatever. So you're getting that physical stuff that we're like hardwired to do. Whereas like in that clip, like they're paying an AI to like sometimes send them text messages. I think there's a huge difference between the porn industry having that visceral physical response that like, hey man, I just want to see breast, I just want to see a ass, you know what I'm saying, I just want to see a vagina, is a little bit different than like the people which and again I think it exists, I just don't think it scales past a certain critical mass.
But it's not just
really want just like again a voice memo that's fake, because again I do think there are people that just get off on a voice, they like a voice.
We agree.
I think there are people that like legitimately would like be fine with like an AI generated text message conversation. I don't think most
but
people
not a lot. I think
Yeah.
that is closer to the number of general OnlyFans users. And so I want to talk about specifically OnlyFans, not like Pornhub or whatever, because the OnlyFans model, in my understanding, doesn't work off of I want to see breasts because I'm a person who's attracted to women. It works on I want to see your breasts daily, regularly, in different parts. I want to feel like I'm a part of your sexual experience, even if I understand you don't even know who the fuck I am, or that this entire interaction is fake and only because I'm paying for it. And there are enough people for that to be hundreds of thousands. I think when we go, hey, look, I can get on the phone and hear the voice of this woman talking to me, asking me about my day. Like, I don't know if we're quite at that level, but like, we're not far off. Like, to where I can have a real time conversation with her speaking to me in her voice. I think it's like the number of men interested in that is close to the number of men interested in OnlyFans in general, which you're right. Like, to be fair, that's not all men, but them numbers are close. Like,
and then even still, like OnlyFans notoriously like only pays out to like, you know, the top % of a percent like creators. You know what I mean? Like it's not a super lucrative endeavor for most people that attempt
it's like
to do
rap.
it. Yeah, it's worse than rap. Like your chances of being successful in rap are probably a little bit, because I can record something for free in a night and sell 2 CDs, you know what I'm saying, and make $10. Most people don't make anything in OnlyFans because they take their cut off the top. But I would say as an additive to an OnlyFans experience, I think that it's a viable model, and I still only posit that it's tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands.
Okay, so
as an additive to your OnlyFans package, yeah, because there are some people that are just going to like get off on a fake voice. It happens.
Okay,
people get off to drawn content, you know. So it's I don't think,
and a lot of people get off the drawn content. Like a lot of people get off
$4 for drawings,
bro. You'd pay $8
to it, and I would suggest that this comes down to the conversation that we have to have around like how do we conceptualize the concept of virtuality, and I think that changes across time. Like I thought this was a wonderful example. Somebody gave this a while ago. If I on the phone said, "Hey, come over to my house," nobody would say when you showed up, "Yo, what the fuck?" That was a virtual. I said that virtually. We understand that that's a representation of something in real time. And I think if someone goes, "Here's a picture of my breasts," and someone says, "I've seen this person naked," no one will go, "No, you've seen them virtually naked." It's like we generally consider those to be comparable. Obviously, there's a difference between in person and video and a picture, but we consider those to both being having seen someone nude. I think when we add the AI in there, because it's very, very new, people will look at interacting with an AI avatar of someone's personality as consuming their personality in a step removed way, but still as consuming their personality. So in the same way, some guy goes, "I can jerk off to your tits even though you're not involved in this because it's a picture. I can jerk off to your voice even though you're not directly involved in this," in the same way. And I think it's good point about, OnlyFans is like only the top creators. But if you're a top creator and you're making, millions, I think you can turn that to 2 million off of, hey, you can have real life conversations with me daily, like I'm your girlfriend.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. Like I just think that like it's such a huge barrier knowing that this is an AI, knowing that like I'm not consuming at any point anywhere near your real personality.
Yeah.
In any capacity. I think the voice thing has legs because people get off on voice. Like that is a thing.
A lot of legs.
But I don't think the package as a girlfriend experience again, where they're like, "Oh, I'm exchanging text messages with an AI." Like, I don't think that does anything.
No text messages. I probably agree, but I think once we get to, and I don't think we're far off because we're already accustomed voice messages that are in response to text messages or in response to voice messages. That's one step away from a live real time phone call. Real time phone call with a girl saying, et cetera, et cetera. And then once we start adding in like video where you're like, dudes are not going to give a fuck. If a dude is interacting with a real time video of a woman who is speaking to him and jerking off on camera with him, that is, that if people are willing to pay for porn, they are willing to pay for that times 2 or times 3. Like,
I would also say
pay for porn, but
that was literally my point. Most people don't pay for porn. Like there were articles
that do.
The porn industry. Yeah, the porn. Yeah, I agree, and that's what I led with that. I think that you could get a small cadre of people that like could float.
Okay.
Like I think that you're going to have
a
small cadre. I think is tens of thousands, like maybe per creator, right? So. And I'm thinking about it like in terms of that person. So I do think there's something there. Like I think it should be pursued, and I think your price point has to be right because again, I think you're going to have a dedicated amount of subscribers that are going to keep coming back consistently. But like the primary driver is going to be voice, and it's going to be voice because people have voice kinks. That's the thing.
Look, I think we maybe are close to agreeing because
we're close to the same thing. I think we agree on the core premise. I think we just agree on like the only thing we disagree on is like the scalability of it. I don't think it's millions. You think it's millions. I think it's tens of thousands.
I don't know if I do think it's I'm saying whatever the number of people is who are currently paying for porn, specifically OnlyFans porn, a very significant, more than half percentage of those people will be willing to pay an additional premium for AI generated content related to their primary creator. If that's tens of thousands, then cool, tens of thousands. But if that's millions, then I'm saying millions. So I'm just talking about the relationship between whatever that percentage of people is and this new technology. Like it may be a little amount, I don't know. But if it's millions, then I'm saying it's 500,000.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That even because OnlyFans models like already do stuff like that. Like they'll give you like a private DM or like, which is like it's, for extra. It's like you pay extra for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or then like private videos requests, like video requests, things
they say
like
your
that.
name and shit.
Exactly. They'll say your name or like in an actual video while they doing whatever you requested for. For some sort of dollar amount. With that AI shit though, if that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different. That's different. Bro.
It overlaps. It's like a Venn diagram, but it might be a lot of overlap there. But like, there's shit that you can get from that AI that you are not going to get from that OnlyFans person. That's more of a tailored girlfriend experience from this girlfriend or mate that don't talk back. That's always going to tell you what you want to hear. Always respond favorably to you. no matter what you do.
And like to distinguish like this AI shit is it's not like just an AI girlfriend. It's like it's like gold backed. It's like gold backed cash. Like this AI is meant to model whoever the girl is that you are subscribed to.
Yeah.
So where usually you would have to pay, XYZ for a DM, she can go, look, for half price, you can get a custom DM from a generative AI that, closely replicates my style of speech. And she can do that with, where previously in an hour, she could only talk to one dude at a time. Now she can talk to 5 at a time. That's money. And if it's half price, that's money.
Yeah, man. How many guys do you really think, like, legitimately, if they know? So I also think it would be different if it was one of those situations where, like,
though.
Yeah, voice 100%.
Okay, yeah.
Voice
Let me fuck text. I'm talking about voice. If I go, hey, I'm a girl. You like me. You like watching me fuck other dudes and playing with my pussy and shit online. You could pay me $100 for an hour of us just talking, or you could pay $20 to talk to a video and voice of me that's not really me, but behaves just like me. Niggas is paying for that. And the difference in number of men who wouldn't be willing to pay for that, multiplied by how many men you can get paying at a given time, more money.
It has
more
a base.
money.
It has a base, 100%.
Oh my God.
I still don't think it's a particularly large base, but you're right. It's and to your point and Josh's point, I think there's a Venn diagram somewhere with the OnlyFans subscriber crowd, and
which is who we're talking about. Yeah, those
like
niggas,
it's there.
A lot of them niggas would say yes.
It's there.
To that.
It's 100% there.
Yeah. But the thing, but bro, like even just from
Josh finna say shit, I would.
No shit, no. Nah. Your boy ain't.
I tried out. I don't know.
Nah.
No, I think Josh, don't go ahead and say the quiet part out loud, because I think we're hitting at the same thing. Because it's like he was, oh man, not me, man, not me, but it's some other niggas that would. I think that's the quiet part, right? I think the quiet part is that it's a certain type of nigga that will want that. And again, I'm not trying to shame those niggas in this particular segment. I think that is something, there's something for them, right? But I don't think that's a massive amount of niggas. I think it's dedicated, dependable, but not large.
In the grand scheme,
that's OnlyFans in general. But yeah, I agree.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what OnlyFans basically is. Like, is every nigga on? Is every man on? Is every person that likes porn on OnlyFans and consuming content from OnlyFans? Absolutely not. But it's still a very large, like you said, like a very large and very sustainable base. And I'm pretty sure that shit is going to grow, especially with how disconnected we're becoming from each other as a society, as human beings. And we see the impetus of that like happening like in our time right now. But this whole AI dating shit isn't a new concept. Like, it's been on Black Mirror. Hell, it's been on the Jetsons. Like, it's been.
There are apps that already exist that do this. You know what I mean? Like the girlfriend experience, boyfriend experience apps are not as bad as you would think they are already. I've watched videos on them. As like a person
say
who
the quiet
like,
part out loud, my boy.
Get loud, brother.
I'll 100% get loud. So I have a science background. I enjoy computers. I enjoy technology. So
I'm a scientist.
AI. So I've watched AI videos, right? So if you watch AI videos and videos that intersect with like AI,
he's the one nigga in the
anthropology.
comments on Pornhub.
No, so I don't watch
comments
porn.
on Pornhub. Be hilarious sometimes, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but
scientifically speaking,
so there are lots of videos where you talk about like technology from an AI perspective, as well as like looking at it from a sociological, anthropological perspective, like what Josh was talking about. So looking at how AI can bridge the gap between like loneliness and the divide. Like if you see like the Surgeon General did a whole push about how we make the loneliness epidemic go away, the quote unquote loneliness epidemic, and how loneliness is related to all these negative health outcomes. So if you watch those videos, then you'll come across a lot of stuff on how they have these companion apps, not necessarily just for not even necessarily just for like dating purposes or pseudo dating purposes, but like old people that like are alone or like
companions,
like that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I've looked at a lot of those in the past, and they're horrible because the technology when I was watching those wasn't very good, but the technology's taken quite a leap since then. So I imagine they probably will get better. But I think they all have the same issue: is the fact that everybody knows they're fucking fake. Outside of voice, I do think voice has a particular.
I think people will care less and less over time.
I think people will care less and
the closer. Yeah.
I think people will care less and less over time for voice. I don't think that stuff like a text message, which is what a lot of these boyfriend girlfriend apps focus on. It's more like a conversation piece, or like, you know,
how bullshit do you think her is? Because I think
her was. I'm saying this as a person who enjoyed her.
I
thought it was a great movie. I loved it, and I'm 100% sure.
Fucking killed that shit.
Spike Jonze is I'm not even gonna get on that tangent. Huge fan. Just saying. I'm just saying I wasn't gonna fanboy out too much, but you know, I love her, and I thought it was extremely well done. But it's also just like the crux of horror of her. The crux of horror.
You virtual celeste.
Yeah.
Yo, that's actually so fucking
That's
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
And like the OnlyFans version of her is just horror.
And it's an acronym. It stands for something.
Women.
Who he orgasming right now? I don't know. Fucking.
But
oh man, that's crazy.
The crux of her was that he
this summer from New Line Cinemas, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Whore.
and it's a AI like younger like him, so like he fits into the same mold or whatever. Anyway, but
oh shit.
The big thing with that was it was largely a character study on him not necessarily being in the world's greatest place. So like that's really what that movie was about. Like that's really what it was trying to get at from my perspective.
Don't entirely. I think that okay, and this goes into more sci-fi shit. I agree that it was that, but I think that what was really wonderful about that, because what I expected that movie to be about was a very simple. This is an incel who needs to learn how to get bitches kind of a movie, and the movie ends with him putting his phone back in. And it wasn't. But that's what it sold as. That's what everybody kind of thought it was going to be. At the end of the movie, he puts his phone in his drawer and he, you know, goes off to date fucking 13 from what's her name, Olivia Wilde, and that's the movie. But it wasn't that. It was about what is consciousness and what is sentience and what is AI, and at the end of the movie, the phone outgrows him, not the other way around. And I thought that was a beautiful, I think, primary story of this. But that doesn't even necessarily relate to what we're talking about, because I don't think our AI is getting close to self-awareness or any shit like that. So, but then again, we don't know. We don't know.
I mean, like, and again, I've had some conversations with people about that, and it's like you see like people are more worried about like what the next step is than what we currently can do. Like when you currently think about it, it's like very fast querying and like a string of like if then statements is very not that great. But like this happened so fast, like the speed in which like this happened has a lot of people worried about what the next step, you know, what the next leap is. Like, what can we do now that we can do this so fast? Like, what is this going to allow us to do for like, you know, the next step, 2 steps from now? That's what people are more worried about than what it can do in current state.
Yeah. If you see how fast the shit is going and you realize there's a cliff up ahead, you're not worried about where you're at now. It's okay. Yeah. We're coming to that motherfucker.
It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh.
Also, I don't think that you have to, like, you just have to replicate the essence of something seeming conscious for a human being to interact with it as if it is conscious. Like, again,
people say
off
please.
The porn is wild when you think about it.
I disagree. It's a
2D image that we know isn't real. Like other animals can't even relate to 2D images in the same way that we can.
I mean, because most animals don't have stereoscopic vision anyway. But
oh, that might be, okay. I don't know what that means. That might be a point that I didn't think of. But
they can't see 3D depth perception. Like that's like very few mammals can do that. Anyway, but anyway.
Oh, so they don't have like the parallax whatever thing. Is that what you're talking about? Or
I don't know what a parallax is, but I just described what I meant.
It's a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's Pokemon. It just means that each of our eyes receives different images, and that's what allows us to perceive depth.
Actually, yes, that is exactly what stereoscopic vision is.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, yeah. Parallax is the like the phenomenon that allows that.
Got you. 10-4. Yes. But yes, you are correct. But what I will say is, I draw a stark distinction between, again, like porn and porn in the traditional sense, because I do think voice porn is still porn, but porn in the traditional sense is what we think about it, which is the visual image of it. Because again, like even if like you're like in front of me, right? If you're in front of me, the physical stimuli is what's getting me off. So like the visual stimuli can be like virtual or whatever, or it can be not real or whatever, but like it doesn't matter what that is. What I'm saying is like I think that it's, and this is the point that I'm gonna continue to hammer home, is that I just think that the interaction with a machine that I know is a machine from a text-based, like speaking, having a conversation thing, most people don't want that. Most people don't think that's a thing. And I agree with you that people can treat.
I'm telling you, shit is
No. I mean, because even
look at how people talk to their animals and their pets. That's actually what I love to anthropomorphize some shit that's not like, we don't need to. If some shit looks like whatever the fuck we think it is, we will interact like it is. Like porn, like responding to a sexual stimuli and going, I am aroused by this set of flashing little dots on a 2D screen as if there was a woman in front of me, is wild. And I think that we have that capacity for everything.
Yeah, but I think that you're also making very simplistic statements in regards to even pets. Like I think that everything you can bring up, there's a caveat to. So, example, you bring up the porn thing and like it's visual. I'm like visual stimuli is visual stimuli, whether or not it's virtual or physical. It doesn't matter. You're gonna say a pet thing. I'm gonna say like, well, dogs are actually very fucking smart. If you have a bird, birds are smarter. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you have a cat, like they can understand speech to a pretty decent degree. So like, yeah, you can talk.
Or because I would say with the pet one. Yes, I agree. Like, I'm not saying dogs aren't sentient. I'm saying people ascribe levels of meaning to their pets that aren't there. Now, there is some amount. Does your dog love you? Does it have affection towards you? Does it have feelings? Does it, feel sadness and whatever? Yeah, of course. But like, people are sitting there thinking that their dog has like a level of understanding and relationship to them that does not exist. And we don't mind, even if we look at science that says your dog is not feeling that thing that you think is feeling. So that's the thing that I would say about the animal shit. When it comes to the,
I disagree. I think that in most relationships with like people and their dog, like and especially like your dog or your bird, because again, I'm picking those because one, they're popular pets that people tend to imprint on. Two, they're very fucking smart, but also like they understand your mood, so they can assign meaning to your mood and your tone.
Yes, mood is, they don't understand that your happiness is gaslighting you. People be talking wild.
Your dog doesn't understand that your boyfriend is gaslighting you. Your dog 100% understands that like this nigga's coming around your house and now I'm upset
and upsetting you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, your dog responds.
A huge gap between
that.
those two things.
What I'm saying is that functionally that doesn't matter. What I'm saying is like functionally that it doesn't matter what the gap is. Functionally, the minutia doesn't matter. Functionally, like all he needs to know is that nigga makes me upset. That's all he needs to know functionally.
But wait. What do we mean? That's all he needs to know. What I'm saying is that people are ascribing a level of understanding to the dog that doesn't exist, and they're deriving comfort from that non-existent understanding.
What I'm saying is that in order for me to get comfort from how my dog acts, all my dog needs to know is that I'm upset, and he or she is like responding to my feeling of upset. He doesn't need to know that I'm upset because somebody's gaslighting me. He doesn't need to know that I'm upset because the bills are not due. Like that's
he
a
just understands
distinction that doesn't need to matter.
That's just you. And what I'm saying is some percentage of people are gaining an extra level of comfort from thinking that the dog has some additional understanding. Like, and I agree.
I'm saying that I disagree. I'm saying that those people just know that the dog responds to them being upset, and he's like,
and they have no feeling that it. That's my
little nigga. My little nigga knows that I'm upset, and he can't even put his head on my lap because my nigga knows I'm upset. That's what people are doing. They're not saying like, oh, the dog knows that Jimmy's gaslighting me is irrelevant. It's functionally moot.
Okay, all right, yeah, fair. Okay, now for the virtual bit, I don't understand your additional point there. Like, I think if you're responding to something that you know isn't real sexually and jerking off to it, I feel like you can get the same level of like, yeah, this AI doesn't have a sentient experience, but it understands me and is responding to me and is asking me how I feel about shit. That feels real, and people will interact with that thing accordingly.
I think that the difference is that when you're responding to porn, whether or not the scenario is real or not, whether or not it's virtual or whatever, or any visual stimuli, even if that's like right in front of you or not, I think you're responding specifically to the visual stimuli. I think what you're responding to when you're having a conversation with somebody is the connection with a sentient being that's and that connection is conveyed via the words, right? So what you're doing is you're taking away the connection piece. I'm not connecting with an AI, and AI is reading me like a book and responding to a set of ones and zeros based on some programming. That's a lot different than me having some sort of connection where even if it's a virtual exchange, I understand that there's a real person on the other side of it. That has meaning. And again, I do think that where I have the one caveat with that being is the fact that I don't think people like have the same thing with the voice. I think people can like decouple a voice and a sound similar to how they can decouple just a visual stimuli anyway. Like I can, you know, like I can enjoy a pair of breasts without seeing a face, for example. I think that those two can be decoupled like successfully. But I'm thinking if I'm just talking about like, oh, having a conversation with somebody via text,
okay, sure, just
talking,
text.
that's different. That's different.
While I disagree, I think for the purposes of like progressing this convo, I want to focus on the strongest version of what I'm talking about, which is AI, visuals, and audio together. I think that people will, and so what I'm getting at it, or what I'm arguing, which I think you understand, but I'll just reiterate for those listening or whatever, is that if you have a video in front of you that looks like a person and you're hearing the voice of a person, even if you understand on some level that this is only a computer, I think a large percentage, or maybe most of us, will be able to interact with that and have genuine emotional responses to that. And we'll have to deal with whatever the consequences of that are. But I think that people will have those feelings. They will have those Joaquin Phoenix, her moments, even if we understand that no sentience exists in this program.
Yeah. So I think that that's what we've been talking about this whole time. I think we've addressed this like 3 times just in this conversation. But so,
I think,
yeah.
so,
yeah, I think that people can get off to things that are not real because there's a visual aspect.
Not just
to
get off
sexual
to.
attraction.
I don't mean just like.
And that's
okay.
the point I'm getting into. I don't think people are going to fall in love because of a visual stimuli. I think that in the porn industry, again, people can get off and have sexual responses to things that are drawn. So I think that's fair. I don't think that people are going to have like deep psychological feelings for something that they know is fake. Because again, I think that's why I think this has legs. I think that people can decouple certain things, and I think that they can use that to their advantage in terms of their sexual gratification. I don't think that they have feelings for like a drawn like hentai character.
We have
for
feelings
example.
about movies, like legitimate feelings about movies.
Yeah, I have legitimate. And we both know that we have feelings. Like you're doing the thing that you claim that I do. Like you're not reading between the lines.
Okay,
when we say feelings, we don't mean anger.
Okay.
Because again, pleasure is a feeling. Pleasure is a feeling.
No.
Like so we know what feelings
I understand
mean.
what you're saying. Just stop real quick because I like. It may have come across that I was being like super specious there. I'm not making an argument that like a phone can cause an emotional response of some kind. I'm saying we have emotional responses to movies as if the characters are real, and I'm applying that here, which I think is a distinction. So that's what I was arguing there, not like we can feel angry. Yeah.
And again, that's hardwired. That's called mirror neurons. We can 100. That's called empathy. That's what mirror neurons do. We can 100% do that as if they're real. I'm saying that like there's not going to be a parasocial romantic relationship, which is what most people understand when you say you have feelings for somebody, especially on the dating and the number one dating and relationship podcast in the world, in the galaxy even, would understand that to mean. I don't think that's the same. I don't think that's the same.
There's gonna be some people out there who gonna really start developing feelings for this AI thing. Like that's not even like real per se, because you got to think like if how good is it gonna be and how good can it get to where it replicates like sentience. This thing is all there for you on a day-to-day basis. How was your day? Oh, it really sucked. Oh damn, I'm really sorry to hear that, babe. Like you can train it, like give you like pet, like sweet words, like babe, sweetie. It calls you like all sorts of shit, and it like approaches you with compassion. And if you believe that compassion, I think it's gonna be a lot of people out there that's gonna start actually developing feelings. I don't think it's gonna be uncommon for people to develop feelings for their AI lover at all.
Tens of thousands, which is what I started with. Tens of thousands.
We're gonna see.
Tens of thousands, not a million.
Very small and dedicated base.
We're gonna see. Because I think, all right, let's see. What we got on the docket here. YK Osiris Sukihana saga? Straight from tech to the shade room?
Like, I mean, like, technically it was sexual assault. I'm glad he apologized. Like, when he saw it.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure
she was going, please stop, please somebody help me. Like it was like almost cartoonishly like non-consensual. Well, that's but it was almost cartoonishly non-consensual.
I'm doing the shit you said in the song.
Also, simple battery in some states, Georgia being one.
Yeah, you holding her head and shit, crazy. I think that the thing that came up though is, well, one, there are 100% people who are arguing that what he did was like somehow an acceptable joke or not that crazy or whatever, because Duval was sitting there just like just not doing nothing about it. But though I do think a lot of people were like stunned. Like I think a lot of people in that room, just from the way they were responding to him as he was laughing, I think a lot of people were looking at him pretty wild from that clip. I don't think most people were like, "Oh yeah, that was funny." They was like, "Okay, what the fuck was that? What the fuck just happened?"
I think I was stunned, like because it happened in stages too, and I think that like in stage 1, I would have been very stunned. I think around stage 2, I would have stood up.
Yes,
because I was shocked when I was watching the video. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, and like he's turning her head up, and like it's a point where like for a fact that like she's resisting, and she's like,
"Yes,
stop," and then like everybody's kind of shocked, and then at that point, I would have been like, "Hey man, yo,
you good?" Like,
yeah,
hey, back up.
Yeah, but it happened in stages, so I 100% understand the initial shock because I was initially shocked.
In a moment, you're trying to figure out, because you like, I think there's a resistance to being like, wait, am I tripping? Or are they having because you don't want. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I think a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be the nigga who's like, well, yo, chill, and then both of them are like, yo, we're playing, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm a weirdo. Like, so you're sitting there waiting, and if some shit happens over the course of like 10 seconds, by the time you go, wait, what the fuck was that? She was definitely not into that. The shit's already done, and YK Osiris is doing a lap around the table, like laughing and joking and touching everybody, and it's like, oh shit. So I think a lot of people were already uncomfortable. I think Duval looked like he was permissive, but I think everybody else in that clip looked like they were like, what's going on, more so. But I think the thing that came up was like this conversation about Black women specifically, and sexual women being like not protected in those moments. Like but you talk about it in the song type shit seems to be the largest part of this conversation.
That shit is super weird, like, because it's bad enough how guys approach women, just kind of like off the jump. But like, if you got a woman who, basically just a woman who's a pussy rapper, and like every goddamn song about how good my box is. Oh, I didn't. That's yeah.
Oh, is that the term?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
Well, yeah.
And like niggas will just take that shit like, oh yeah, man, this bitch a real freak right here. Yeah, she won't want it from anybody. It's like kind of like taking a pussy rapper and putting them in like the same vein as you would like a porn star, because like a pussy rapper is still kind of like a more newer thing than a porn star is. So it's like you have like some guys who might approach a porn star
with the same type of energy.
Or at least like you might know like, oh, but she does this thing. This is her job. I have respect and adoration for what you do. Like I get off to what you do, but there's still like a lot of respect and decorum. Like I don't know if you're actually one of those people that's really like with the shits. Like say for instance like a Tiana Trump.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. As soon as you was talking about that situation, I'm like, I would have. Wait, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean that was just basically like not even saying that Tiana Trump is somebody that you should just feel free to try out. Like,
thank you for giving that caveat, because that was 100% what I was.
Did it seem that he was making some other point than that?
No, I'm just saying that I think that like the whole conversation of like, oh, is it somebody that's with the shits? Like I can be with the shits all day. That don't mean that you fucking like come up to me and fucking like
do whatever,
like grab me and kiss me. You know what I'm saying? It's like what's a good example? And I want to make it like a male
fighting Mike Tyson.
Exactly. Like Mike Tyson has like beat motherfuckers to pulps in like a ring. Are you gonna come up to him and just like start sparring?
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Gucci Mane has killed people. You gonna come up to him and like just start like some pistol play off jump? You know what I mean?
Well, like okay, I get your point though.
You know what I mean? It's weird when like we have to make that caveat, but I think that we had to make that caveat.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I think though actually, because I do want to talk about this, but I feel like there's steps that's missing to this conversation before I get to that, because I am interested in something about the Tiana Trump conversation of like, where is the line between when you're talking about content and then you're making content with a content creator. Like if you make porn and two people come onto a podcast to talk about porn, the threshold for what you talk about from jump is going to be different than if you bring on a neuroscientist, probably. Like, is there something there?
So in general, and I've thought about this, but like when you're dealing with people with the platform that make content, and like content is is very synonymous with who they are. Like you kind of just should have a conversation about what ground rules are and what they want to discuss anyway.
Yes.
Like that's the simple way to do
Of
it.
course,
So it's like, oh, the conversation is going to be different. Absolutely. Yeah. But they should kind of also, and you should kind of probe on like what's off limits. Like how far can we push this? Like have a rapport with them. Like that's why a lot of like times when you do these content creator like mashups, there's at least a pre-meeting and pre-conversation to kind of go through those things. So that's how you kind of avoid that. It's like I remember we had the same conversation where like the guy had Ari Lennox and had that same conversation, quoting her song, and she was taken aback by it. And we had the same, very much different, but kind of sort of tangentially related.
It's somewhat related, like what appropriateness. It's different like, when it gets super sexual, but
exactly. Have a conversation on what's appropriate, like how we can joke. Like you should probably be familiar with my content. I should be familiar with like what you do and like how you conduct yourself in an interview, and then we should go from there.
So now the conversation is part of is there some, because there is 100% some amount of assumption based on the nature of the content. So if I go, this person is a comedian, they come onto the podcast starting with some jokes is probably more normal than if you bring on a professor. There's a little bit more checks and balances there. Now, for everyone, there's a preset, hey, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Are you game to talk about everything that you do in your stand-up? Is there anything that you talk about in your stand-up that you don't actually want to talk about on a podcast or get into? Cool, that happens. But the baseline of here's some shit that might come up generally as a normal first point of conversation is going to be informed in part by that person's content. And that doesn't seem like it's the worst thing. Though I will say, to your point, I think there's a cutoff where you go, some things are so extreme that you need to double check with everyone, no matter what their content is, even if their content includes sucking dick, on camera or whatever.
I just gotta go back to that second video with the other guy in Suki, where it's like, yeah, she talk about like all this eating niggas ass and all this like freaky nasty shit, but it's a thing of, even if, yes, she's literally down to do all of the shit
with somebody.
Read the room. Read with somebody, but nigga, like read the fucking room.
I sing.
The little throw down.
Yeah, I do the singing.
Yeah. Hey, how about it?
Can we calm him down? I can't even turn up because he's been waiting at the door for me.
Hey, how about
You was not acting like that out there.
I mean, shit, we on now.
That's right. See, I like to sing myself, so we don't have to listen to music.
Sing us a little something.
Yeah, sing us something. Let's see what that mouth do. No, I'm saying vocally. Let's see what that mouth do vocally.
What does your mouth do?
Shit, everything you needed to do. I'll make that pussy spit, and I know it do. I watched you walk in this motherfucker.
So you can tell by my walk?
I can tell by your walk that pussy spit.
Hey, you a country nigga. Where you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Campbellton Road, to be exact. What's happening with it?
Not. I get that. This is how he is every time we get on there.
Southwest Atlanta.
He been over here saying he wanted to smell it.
Oh yeah, I want to smell your pussy. I want to put my face in your pussy. You say Suki with the good coochie, you know what I'm saying? You be talking about how good that motherfucker smell and all that.
So you want to put your...
Yeah, I need a motherfucking scratch and sniff about that motherfucker.
Scratch and sniff? Oh my gosh, out the Cracker Barrel box. The scratch and sniff. I do have a scratch and sniff.
You do? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? We can go to the back and I can come back and
You want to smell my ass?
I might put my tongue down that motherfucker.
Oh my gosh, A1.
But we going to start with the sniffing though.
You are aggressive.
She love that shit, man. Look at her. She like that old shit.
No, I don't.
You love that shit.
No, I mean after like during sex maybe, but you know, that's not right now.
Nah, all that shit you talk. Fuck that. You done met your match. I'm here. What's up?
So listen, hold on.
This man.
Okay.
That's some like verbal sexual harassment. Like that was just downright cringy just to watch a nigga press a woman like that. And be like, yeah, what that mouth do? It's like, she is clearly not into this. She's clearly not into you.
With the YK Osiris one, I don't think there's any circumstance under which that makes sense. With the podcast one, and please do push back wherever I'm tripping here, watching the full clip and their interaction and their post-pod interaction makes me think that was closer to a like, talking reckless, you're joking reckless and like, shut up, you're stupid, as opposed to full, like, this is straight harassment.
I would say both.
Yeah, and like my whole thing is like, why are we so quick to dismiss you know, somebody bringing like somebody on the podcast and like talking stupid and talking reckless, like shit, like respect your guests, respect people in general. Like,
I don't think it's
like
I
why
don't think it's-
is that permissible? It seems like.
Well, okay, because okay, they're two different things though. Like one, talking stupid and reckless and being disrespectful to a guest is a very different thing than like sexually harassing a guest. But two, if the nature of the content is to be silly and reckless, then that's not a disrespect.
Okay.
If that's what's being expected.
So yeah.
Like if I go on a podcast and somebody roasts me because it's that kind of a podcast, I don't go, y'all disrespected me. Y'all did what is like what the thing is. Like y'all did what this piece of content is. Now maybe that's not the case here, which is fair. But if it is, then yeah.
So what I'm specifically saying is like, cool. I'm acknowledging those are two things, and I'm saying that you were like not you were, but I'm just saying like,
well, you can, but by all means, like if I'm
no because I don't I don't want to you-ize it because I was using you in the general sense, but I don't want you to think that I'm saying that you're saying this because I don't think you said this, like legitimately, but. If somebody, those are two different things. Cool. I'm just addressing in this segment somebody talking reckless and rude on the podcast. I'm not going to be dismissive of somebody talking rude and reckless on the podcast either. Like I think that is worthy of admonishment in and of itself. It doesn't have to be the other thing. It can just be that, and I still think that's worthy of admonishment.
Okay,
yeah. Now
that's a fair point. Yeah.
Now I go back to what I said. You guys have your conversations. Like Suki has representation. Like I imagine that there was a conversation that happened. If everything that happened in that conversation and she just got cold feet or whatever was pre-discussed with like her management and that podcast team, cool. If podcast bro like crossed the line based on what she was comfortable discussing, it's still admonishment. Like I don't care. It doesn't have to be legal sexual harassment for it to be a problem. It can just be being fucking rude.
Be disrespectful.
Yeah, it can just
so now
be
my
general
question
disrespect.
is that the case? Has like Suki has everybody has come out with the okay. So with the DJ A1 shit, she was like, "Yo, you did go too far. That's not the shit that I was on. Like that was disrespectful. That was harassing.
That was nasty as fuck, bro. I mean, just because like she couldn't even be.
No, she said that.
Huh?
You're saying she said that?
I'm saying from my point of view. Well, for one, me, I'm straight up like, yes, that was just like that was nasty. Like that was disrespectful. Like I couldn't even watch the whole damn thing because this is nasty.
Maybe there's bits I haven't seen because I feel like there were so many little sections where, and this doesn't necessarily mean because sometimes a person will interact back even though they're resistant to the whole interaction. I know that happens, but there seemed like there were so many situations where she was giving back with what was being, you know what I'm saying?
She was that. I mean, she was.
But maybe it was very half-hearted, which is fair.
I think that's just also because like she can talk like that, like she knows like how to play back, but she didn't want to like play back.
Okay,
like that. Like she would just, you know, okay, here you go, Lord, because like the nigga just wouldn't let the fuck up, and like she even said it at one point in the interview, was like, I can't even get my shit off because this nigga right here
is doing too much. Yeah, okay, got you. And she's
like,
trying to roll with it, and you know, okay, cool. I'm on a podcast. I don't want to fuck the whole conversation up by throwing my mic off and being like, this motherfucker's a sexual harasser and walking the fuck off. So cool, yeah, your dick. What does that dick do? Okay, anyway, back to what I was saying. Okay, nigga, again, eat pussy, cool. What I was saying is kind of shit. So that's a very fair point. Yeah,
niggas be fucking up the ecosystem, man. I can't say it enough. And y'all wonder why women goddamn don't like y'all ass now. Don't fuck with us a lot of in so many instances.
Yeah, very like reckless. I will say given all of my arguments and shit, very reckless behavior to like not have some level of like, I think maybe this is making a person uncomfortable. Why am I like pushing on some like you've met your own match type shit? Like if a person is saying any version of no, even if it's on some playful shit or you think it's on some playful shit, I would think you would go, let me dial the fuck back and let them set the tone instead of being like, nah, that's you. We gon' shit. Don't run away from it. Like that's actually very weird conversational or just behavioral energy in general. So very fair point.
First thing I said, man, she liked that shit. She liked that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, bitch. Like I mean, like just like even if she do like the shit, nigga, clearly not from you.
You know, if she doesn't like this shit specifically, then her liking some other shit is fucking irrelevant. Like Mike Tyson fights, you don't square up on him. I mean, for multiple reasons, but you know,
right to this day,
let's see.
For multiple reasons.
Well, I'd like to survive the rest of the day. I'm not fighting Mike Tyson purely out of just respect for Mike Tyson. I'm not doing that out of respect for me and my continued life.
I don't know, Eddie. We have this conversation all the time.
You
might could, man. You might could, man. I think you've probably been doing you've been doing all kind of like Muay Thai shit, in the off season and all that kind of shit.
The way of the 8 limbs, it's possible.
The way of the 8 limbs.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. I mean, come see me, bro. Please don't. Hope this episode don't do too well. All right, let's see.
I know Mike Tyson see the shit.
Yeah,
actually comes
now
to
I'm on Hotbox looking crazy.
Eddie over Golden coming to you bitch ass.
Oh fuck!
It's insane how fucking good he still is. Like how well he fucking moves at his age. It's fucking insane.
Because is he yet 60?
I think he's just under.
Just under. Yeah, no. It's really some Dark Knight Returns like Batman type shit because
it's really old man Batman type shit. Like he moves amazing for his age.
Fast. Like man, I think he could beat the shit out of most. I think he could beat the shit out of almost any non-boxer man of most ages. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. If he catch your ass
outside
one
of a
good time,
train,
it's a wrap.
Oh, that's the other thing. It's like he's a one. He's not Floyd Mayweather. Like if he catches you once, that is the end of the fight. So that's very easy to. Yeah, I don't think most. Outside of trained professionals, I don't think most men can slip a full fight without a blow landing, on their head. I don't think most men can do that.
Yeah,
the thing about it is like, that's what I was gonna say, Josh. Like he don't even got to hit you in the head. Like a guy with his power.
True.
A guy with his power.
A chest hit,
like,
an arm hit, probably I'd be like,
a fucking liver hit will put you down. A fucking liver hit will drop your fucking blood pressure and you're fucking collapsed.
Done.
Immediately. Damn. Goddamn Mike Tyson, bro, I tell you.
Good for him.
National treasure.
Yeah, no, he's an artist. Well, I don't know if I said
that. I know,
right?
I just had like an immediate flood of problematic things from Mike. But yeah, I mean, hey,
his rebrand was.
He's an artist in the ring.
Yeah,
his rebrand was that team around him that like worked to make him more like marketable, despite the fact that like he's largely like a horrible fucking human
Unchanged,
being.
Yeah.
Is like
his team, his marketing team is honestly very good.
Yeah,
very good. I mean, to be fair, I think it takes years. I think you had to like it couldn't have been done like in 2003. Like I don't think they could have done what they've done. But I think okay, cool podcast. A new generation of new kids are watching who weren't born during his more controversial shit.
They only remember from The Hangover. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They saw that with their big brother growing up, and
I think that's exactly what it is. All right. Last thing we want to hit. Anything stick out?
Light one. What it was. If you're on a date, would you want your significant other to hear your thoughts or have your mom on the phone?
I love this one. Who want to go first? It's easy. It's
easy
answer
for me too. It's an easy answer for me too. Mom on the phone.
What's up?
Mom on speakerphone. Easy.
Well, 100%. 100%.
Mama,
do you know my thought, bro? I don't even want to hear my thoughts. Like, hell no.
It's a fucking monologue from you.
Like, that's what. Yeah. I don't want that shit playing out loud during the date. That shit would be crazy as hell.
Like, I can help you. I can save you. Like you just like.
She knows that I am the man that's going to save and protect her. How safe is she?
Ever since I met her 6 months before we actually met. Like, come on, man. I don't need that shit playing during the whole fucking date. No, but even like just regular shit.
Okay, so my significant other, or like we talking like first date.
Honestly, any like
so first date,
all of iterations, the whole of any date.
So if I'm going through the gamut, right? I'd say first date. Definitely mother on speakerphone because like that's gonna be pretty kosher anyway. I'd say significant other, like I kind of don't care. Like significant other, we're on a date, like like either or, like you can hear my thoughts. Like the fuck, I'm probably gonna say the shit to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm probably gonna like. I'm probably gonna have a conversation with you about what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think bullshit because the things that I'm thinking about are like at this. Okay, first of all, there's layers, there's levels to this shit because I feel like intrusive thoughts and just all of the things that my brain can, because my brain don't stop thinking shit. Where I could be having a conversation with you. I'm thinking some whole other, totally different shit. Just being like, hey, I'm on a date with my significant other. Yo, I would fuck the shit out of this waitress. That's not some shit that I'm going to act on. It's not some shit that needs to be shared. It's not anything that's even really real or will ever be anything. But just her hearing that is like, would destroy a relationship, I feel.
I don't know, Eddie. I think this works differently for me and you because I'm less of a horrible person. So like, I'm like,
true.
Like I'm sitting at the table. I'm sitting at the table and like,
at least as horrible as me.
My intrusive thoughts are like, fuck, man. Are the Hawks really gonna trade Trae Young? And like, I'm gonna say that shit out loud. You know what I'm saying? That's like,
your intrusive
that's what I'm
thoughts
saying.
Are like, are you really adequate for my political career? Because if not, I think I've
already had that conversation. If she's my significant
other,
that's true. I've already had that conversation, bro.
That's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair enough. I don't think that makes you less worse than me. I think that makes you somehow managed to market that shit because you crazy from day one. I'm trying to like be a facsimile of a regular person. But no, but the example that I gave, are we saying that we don't all relate to that directly?
Yeah.
You saying you can get through a
first date 100%. First date, I don't want them to hear my thoughts because I'm 100% like, you know.
But you're okay. Your girlfriend of 3 years, Alvin. You're saying you think that you'll be able to get through. Y'all are whitewater rafting or whatever. You'll be able to get through the date without having a thought about wanting to fuck the instructor, or you're saying that for y'all's relationship to where you've gotten it, that will be a non-issue.
I'm saying that I could 100% get through a thought of, a day without wanting to fuck the instructor. Now, what would happen would be something like what would happen more than likely. No, I don't think you're tripping. I don't think you're tripping. I don't think you're tripping. And I'm going to split the difference because I'm just going to tell you how like my mind works. Like I don't look at somebody and say like, oh, I want to fuck you. Because like me wanting to fuck somebody is a little bit deeper than like just like that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to look at you and be like, oh shit, like she's attractive. Oh shit!
Yeah. I mean, that's also true for me.
Yeah, and like that, I don't give a shit if my significant, like, because my significant other like didn't become blind like when they got with me, right? Like she's probably also looking at other guys saying like, oh shit, man, this motherfucker's tall and attractive. Like I think we can both split the difference there. So I don't mind that.
Okay, y'all niggas bullshitting. What you think, Josh?
Yeah, I kind of got to piggyback off of AB. Like, there's some
shit. Okay, I'm gonna be the toxic niggas this podcast. Then go ahead.
I don't think you're wrong, Eddie. I really don't think you're wrong. I really don't.
Wrong.
I'm
say
okay.
I mean, because like a lot of people, have, like, I mean, and of course, like I've been out many times. Like, yo, I would beat. Like, she is fine. Like, oh my god. I guess like sometimes how you come off, because like it's just like it sounds like anybody. It's like you just
no. I'm not saying constantly. I'm saying could you?
Anybody
this nigga walking around, he see every third woman. Yeah, exactly. Like
no, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Do you like in a day? How many women do you see that are attractive enough that you'd be interested in having sex? And if you go every single date you go on with your girl, you got to get through every single one with none of those thoughts ever fucking happening.
But, okay,
what are we talking
about? Let me tell you this. So like,
okay,
I see so many attractive women like on a day-to-day. Well, you know, when I'm out, you know, it's Atlanta. It's a lot of attractive women. I'm not instantly going, fuck the shit out of her like every time.
No,
okay.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, damn, she's fine. Like,
okay, no, I agree.
And my
agree.
significant other can 100% hear my thoughts saying that she's attractive, because if I'm hearing her thoughts, she's probably gonna be saying, "Oh, he's attractive. Cool, whatever. I'm still going home with Alvin. Whatever."
Okay, but I'm still going home. Look.
I know how you feel about that too. How you feel about that too.
I'm still going home with Eddie. What the fuck?
I know how you feel about that too. Which is why I don't think you're wrong in this scenario. I think like your stance is valid.
Because the other thing that I want to add here is I'm not just talking about like these like glancing, this person is a stranger, split second, subconscious recognition that a person is attractive while primarily trying to pay attention to your partner. Also, like you're in situations where it's like people. I feel like we're not, maybe not y'all, but I feel like people aren't honest about like your girlfriend has thought about fucking your homeboys. She's not looking to entertain it, but that thought fucking happens. Like, and it's there in a legitimate, like a half split second fantasy has fucking happened. That happens a lot with a lot of fucking people.
I'll give you an example.
And I don't think I'm exaggerating.
I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to say names. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to say names. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. And I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to say names. Okay. I'm not going to say names. 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 I'm not I've been with a woman in a committed relationship.
You describe it so specific.
No, anyway, I've been with a woman, committed relationship or whatever. And I have a really good friend, and like when I asked her out like before he did, like we didn't know that was like that was a thing. That, like I didn't tell him that I was interested. He didn't tell me he was interested. None of that stuff. I just happened to ask her out first. I had the gumption.
Right.
Whatever.
It happens.
He asked her out later. She was like, I said no, because you and Alvin are cool, and I'm currently, me and Alvin have been out. Cool. Like. After a while, she was like, yeah, man, like if you hadn't asked me out first, I would have gave him a chance. I was like, oh, cool. Interesting. All right, bet. You trying to get pizza? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong to give a fuck. I'm just saying that, like, if we're talking about like how we in our individual states would react, like I'm being honest with like how I can handle that situation. But I do want to shoot you the bail
you're
that
built
like
way different than
I think you're yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to shoot you the bail that I don't think what you're saying is wrong. I don't think you're out of left field or anything. I don't think you're being like toxic. I just know what I
want to go a step further, because I'm not just making an argument about, hey, this is what works for me. Like, I feel this way, and I'm not just saying that. I'm saying I think for most people,
I think that's
what
fair.
I'm describing is true. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
I think you don't want to hear your girl's thoughts.
Oh, God,
I don't think that anybody wants that shit, because let me tell you, it's some thoughts in there that you are not going to be able to go home with.
Bruh.
I'd be all right.
Alvin, I'm sure. Any other human being with all the brain regular shit? No.
I mean, for one, I think men have like a.
I know you couldn't,
slightly.
Josh. Sorry, not to be. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Look out.
I ain't even. I'm gonna let you slide, because I didn't even hear what you said. But anyway.
Well, I didn't say anything crazy, but just I'm just from our conversations. I'm just saying you're about as sensitive as me. You could not handle that shit.
Well.
Come on,
maybe,
bro.
probably not.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to hear. I wouldn't fucking want to hear like that shit. Like, because what is that going to do for me? What am I going to do with this information? Like,
right.
But what I was going to say is like, hell, I don't need to know like all her thoughts anyway, because most of her thoughts ain't just about fucking somebody else. That she probably got down running through a whole laundry list of shit that is completely uninteresting me about what she got to do in her day or what somebody said to her.
True.
That she just
I only thought about that one just
like,
because it's the easiest one. But
yeah.
Keep some of it in, babe. I might not necessarily want to hear like every single. I don't want to hear every single thing per se.
He don't want you to spoil Love Is Blind for him. He want to see what's going on for himself.
That's
right,
what I'm
exactly,
saying. I picked the cheating shit just because
I know
that's
the ultimatum
one,
shit.
But God damn it, he was his father the whole time. Fuck,
yeah,
loud brain ass bitch. God damn.
But yeah, bro. I think. Maybe when I was younger and like very inexperienced with sex, and I would look at a girl and be more quickly to be like, I would have sex with this person. Like I would want to have sex with her. But now it's just more like, damn, she fine.
Sure.
And then if I'm around, if I'm around them a lot more, my mind might start to wonder. But just if I'm around with my girls, I'm just gonna be like, God damn, like look at that ass a little bit.
No,
all right.
look,
you're rubbernecking with the best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I picked that example just because I figured it's the most
Josh.
extreme one to illustrate. But can you tell me genuinely and straight faced that over the course of the relationships that you've had, that there is not at least one thought that you've had while out on a date, whether that was about whether or not this person was suited for you relationship wise, the way this person
all
looked,
the time,
your interest, there was at least one thought that would end the relationship instantly if she heard?
Absolutely. I have been on dates with some women and thought, damn, you kind of ugly from this angle. Like,
right.
Bro,
that's what I'm. But my whole thing.
What the fuck?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like for me, that stuff is more likely to happen. No, that stuff is more likely to happen. So one, if we got a date, I don't think you're ugly. I may not necessarily want to fuck you, but I don't think you're ugly. You're my type if I asked you out on a date. But physically, at least, I'm trying to assess other stuff with that date.
Damn, she really dumb.
But my whole thing with like the whole situation is that stuff is more likely to happen date 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that Josh just described, 100% has went through my mind. Stuff of that equivalent of that equivalence has went through my mind, but that's like a date 1, 2, 3. That's not like we've been together 3 years.
I think that's
kind
fair.
of stuff.
Like if that's true for you, I think that's totally fair. But I would say I think most people that's not. Like I think most people, they've been married for 40 years, and a woman thinks he's definitely not the best sex that I've ever had, or like, fuck, was my mom right about him? And then the next day you think, oh fuck, I'm so madly in love with him, I want to stay with this person, but you still have those thoughts.
Yeah, and my whole thing is like, if she's like, man, he's not the best sex I done had, but I'm like, damn, but I know I'm in like the top 75th percentile, and I'm like, cool, man, we won. Like, damn, shit.
But you don't want to.
Am I top 5? Her mind says I'm top 5. Her mind says I'm top 5.
No, don't.
That's a compliment.
Don't matter.
Nah,
she's only had 6 partners.
Come on now.
She's only had 6. I'm top 5 of 5. That's what the fuck.
Okay, you're on a date with her. Well, an ex comes up to the dinner table, says, "Hey, how you going?" They do a little exchange. It's all polite. "Hey, this is my husband." Blah blah blah. And for a good solid 5 seconds, she just thinks about, damn, how that dick hit the back of my pussy. You telling me y'all are going home fine? That's no issue.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say Alvin.
I'm top 5.
I didn't say Alvin specifically.
The average nigga, you are correct. The average nigga, you are correct.
I'm talking to Josh only. I'm talking to the
you
niggas
talking
to
me? I said the average nigga, and you was like, okay, Josh.
No, Josh not average. Josh not average, but Josh is normal.
Mm-hmm. You're not even normal, Eddie. Like, what the fuck is that?
I know.
Why I felt like that was an insult being on the stage with you.
You're non-abnormal, bro.
Niggas. But he is normal. Like I'm just not even in the room.
I know this nigga.
I'm not. Normal is not an insult.
That is how you said it.
It's how I
you
said
did put
it
out there like there.
Okay, my fault. I apologize.
I know.
You're not regular. I didn't say you were regular. I said you were normal.
Okay, I ain't your ordinary.
Those are synonyms, nigga. Those are synonyms.
No. Regular and normal ain't the same thing at all.
Semantic, man.
Like Denzel is normal, but he ain't regular.
I'm regulated. That's what I am.
There we go.
I ain't your ordinary like play circle. But anyway,
agreed.
Bruh, I don't want to hear that shit. Hell no. I don't want to hear it. I mean, it ain't. But I'm gonna be fucked up. But it's not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so mad at you, bitch. How could you do this to me? Like, that's a past nigga. Like, of course she's had bigger dicks than me. Don't mean it necessarily feel better than what I'm working with. But like,
she thought that
she might like him for different reasons though. Just like how I might like some of my past sexual partners that I like for different reasons. You can't get mad at a person like for shit that they did in the past and for them thinking about some shit.
You can.
Man, bro.
Eddie is 100% like saying like that you need that your life needs to begin with Eddie. That's what his thing is. He's like,
no.
Beginning.
I'm not saying
the alpha and the omega. Eddie.
Let
me just gaslight you real quick, baby. Come on.
Let me explain what you really think.
Alpha and omega over gold over here.
No, all I'm saying is that we all live in comfort that is supported by a net of lies and delusion. And once you remove them lies and delusion, all of our happiness crumbles instantly. That's all I'm saying.
It's certain things.
Except Alvin. Yeah,
I would say if people confront those head on, they feel so much better.
No, they would not.
I guarantee you would over time.
Absolutely not.
You feel so much
not
better.
even fucking close.
It's like it's some Tyrion Lannister shit, man. I'm telling you, it's like if you wear all of that shit like armor, it cannot be used to hurt you.
Ooh, like some Eminem 8 Mile type shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
I am white. I am a fucking bum. I do penetrate.
My dick is small. I'm in from the slum. But
Papa Doc couldn't say nothing. He couldn't say nothing.
I'm
saying.
Yeah.
But like you would have to have, for one, Alvin, AB, when you say that, if you just like being honest with yourself, like that's a one-way conversation. Like if you really like build your self-confidence up from that, just being 100% honest, like I can shit on myself and put it all out there and I have a great sense of humor to back it up, fantastic. But if you are with, or if you're including doing that with somebody else, you better hope and pray that motherfucker got some good communication skills too, because they can rip your ass asunder by mistake, you know.
I agree. 100%. I think that's the critical piece for normal functioning relationships. if you're going to operate the way that I just said, that like it's fun to operate. So I think you're spot on.
The other thing is truth and total transparency are not the same thing. Like I think that people can be
that's
like
very true.
Because what you're talking about is a person not lying. But omission, I think, is a requirement for healthy relationships. Not saying all things that are true is a requirement.
I don't think you're wrong. I
feel what you're saying, Eddie, a little bit, because once again, I'm a nigga a little sensitive. But at the same time, you gotta manage your ego. You really gotta like keep your ego in check so your sensitive nature don't overcrowd your rational judgment.
But
and
it's not no bitches out here that actually read minds. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, that's not a, you know what I'm saying?
This nigga posed a hypothetical, and then this nigga's like, well, why are we even talking about this? Like, niggas, like, it's not like people can read minds for real.
Like, did we start talking about something else?
No, I'm saying, because y'all was acting like
this nigga picked this topic. Like, what the fuck?
No, but hold on. Because y'all are acting like I need to learn the ability to manage my emotions in response to someone being able to read my thoughts. And I'm saying, no.
Nobody said that.
Be on speakerphone. Okay, then maybe I misunderstood what you're saying. Like,
no, that wasn't directed at you.
Okay,
of course. Come on.
Okay, all right, my fault. You know what I'm saying? I got wounds. I'm traumatized. I'm sorry. My fault. I'm sorry.
This nigga said, "Why are we acting like people can even read minds? Like, why are we even doing that?"
That nigga felt attacked, bro.
Oh yeah. Why are we suggesting the hypothetical situation I just posed is real?
Oh my god! Like what the fuck they do that at? Come on, my brothers. I thought we were smarter than this.
What part of the game is that? Y'all niggas is really weird.
No, but there are legit like a lot of instances where like it don't take a mind reader for someone's ego to get hurt.
True.
And then they start tripping off of, you know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, like in the situation, like if the ex comes back around and like you think your girl hugged him for 1 second too long, you know.
Or if she rubbernecking with the best, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Like,
like an owl, just 180. Nah, no.
I look around like I'm super lost. Next thing you know, you're rubbernecking like a boss.
That was very good. The comedy album coming out next.
Absolutely.
It's gonna go double platinum. All right, shall we close this bad boy out? You got any closing remarks? All right. Well, look, if you I don't know. If your son calls you up on a first date to listen in, you might be seeing a red flag. But at the same time, if you assault a performer who makes sexual music just because you think that's how you can move around her, it might be you just waving the red flag. It's been Waving the Red Flag podcast. It's been Eddie. It's been Josh. It's been Alvin. We'll see you next week. Hop on Patreon if you want to join us like before every episode to get the live, to get the bonus episodes, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe to this, turn the bell on. We'll see you next week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It's a red flag.